Alright guys, we're going to be kicking off the stream any minute now. Hopefully you can hear me okay in the stream. Please let me know if everything's cool. Just type in the comment section that the sound is okie dokie. And we're going to go live right about now. Boom, we are live guys. Woo! Another first of the month. We always do first of the month, which is our stream. Let me move the camera a little bit over here and we'll adjust it. Perfect. Good to go. That's right, guys. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming into the stream tonight. I always do a stream the very first Tuesday of a given month that replaces my Tuesday video. Oh, there we go. It replaces the Tuesday video, which is the stream. We always do that the very first Tuesday of a given month. I do a stream once a month. Awesome. Thank you, Jackie. We do that every single month. I've been doing it now for, I want to say, the last 3 years, give or take. So we do a stream. I usually just pick a topic that I want to talk about. Usually I'll do this when it comes to some type of news, some type of thing that I think is important in the pop culture geek community. I will talk about it. I'll have a communication back and forth with the audience, with the community, and they'll let me know what their thoughts, what their feelings are, things like that. We always talk about a drink. We're doing a drink tonight. We're doing a little bit of beerage. We're doing a little Angry Orchard, hard cider apple. One little beer. Not a huge amount of alcohol. I think this is like maybe 4.5–5% alcohol by volume, so it's not that bad. More tasty. I'm not, again, said it many times, not a beer guy. Don't like the taste of beer. But hard cider, I like me some hard cider. Especially some sour beer. I love me some sour beer. Excuse me, getting over bad allergy attack I had yesterday. So, let's talk about the pickups before we get into the main event. This is going to be a 30-minute stream. Always this video, when it clears at the end of the day, usually by the following day. Again, my following's not that huge. It's only about 2,000 subscribers. You can see it in the top right corner of your screen. Give or take. Again, that's not a real number. I've said many, many times that my subscriber base is very inflated. So, because I don't have a huge subscriber base, I'm not monetized, they will usually make the video on demand, which is after this recording has ended. Usually appears about 10 or 11 a.m. the following day. Or if you would have gotten an email alert, you can get to the stream that way. Again, let me get my drink here. Great to see you back in the stream again, Rainbow. Let's talk about what I picked up. I always talk about the recent pickups for the given month. Not a whole lot of stuff. A few key pieces. And we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about the next video that's going to go up as well. These next two videos. So, about a year ago, I picked up the first item for this. Basically, it's a small statue, based from the Modern Icons line of statues. As I said many, many times before, I'm a big fan of Dungeons & Dragons. I love the character of Dritz. There is a companion piece that came out, I want to say the beginning of this year. I didn't even know the piece existed. And that, of course, is his love interest. It is Canterbury. This is the archer girl that is in the Dritz stories for R.A. Salvatore. The love interest, the part of a love triangle with another character called Wolfgar, which they don't have a statue yet. They've only made two statues, the Dritz statue and the Modern Icon statue. Price point for this guy here, I believe, was $60. I used a $5 coupon, so it was really about $55 my cost. Again, I like these sort of statues because they're very, very small. The form factor is tiny. It has a lot of space. They give you a lot of sculpt, a lot of detail. And it looks really, really good. I think they did a great job with Canterbury here. And again, she's not as well known as Dritz. If you know Dritz, if you read the books from R.A. Salvatore, you probably know who Canterbury is. If you don't know anything about the Dritz character, you have no clue about her. Dritz is kind of popular now in the modern lexicon when it comes to fantasy. If you're someone who studies, read fantasy books, things like that, you probably would have heard of the name Dritz Do'Urden. But this is the love interest for that character of Dritz. I haven't kept up with the books recently. I think he's written something like 20–25 books in the span of, since 1980, I think it was 1988 is when Crystal Shard came out, which is R.A. Salvatore's very first D&D book. So he introduced the character Dritz Do'Urden during that time. But this was the sort of love interest from Dritz. She was at the time engaged to the character Wolfgar, who was think of a barbarian. Think of like Thor with a magical hammer named Aegis Fang. That's who Wolfgar was. So, yeah, so this is the love interest for Dritz. This will be a full review, full unboxing, full review for the character. I'm going to probably say next week. And the reason for either these next items are going to be done this Thursday, as far as which would be the 5th, or something I'll talk about at the end, near the middle of the video, of this stream here, of what I'm going to be doing possibly during that time. So the other items that we got are these bad boys here. I got the entire wave finally, with the exception of the chase, which will be done at a later time as soon as I get my hands on it. It's probably going to be an addendum video for this particular item. Mainly because every single time I put a pre-order in June through Big Apple Collectibles, it was for 3 items. It was 2 of these items and the chase. It was supposed to come out in February. It was supposed to come out in March. It was supposed to come out in April. It's now gotten pushed back again to May. They keep pushing back this item, and it's the chase and 2 of the items, which we'll talk about in a second. And of course, we're going to be talking about... Ooh, I'm dropping everything here. Let me get it, guys. 1 second. Didn't mean to drop it. Oh, come here. And we're talking about these guys here, the Maiden Pops. Wave 2 of Iron Maiden's Pops. It's a 4-wave with a chase. Get it all in the shot so you can see it. All 4 of these guys are going to be reviews. Very similar to how I did Wave 1. Wave 1 came out, I want to say, a year and a half ago. This is now Wave 2. There are 4 characters and a chase. I'll showcase off each one here so you can see what we're talking about. Let me get my chat back open because it closed when I dropped it on my keyboard. That was really smart, Rook. Oh, okay, so we're looking at, we'll follow them in numbers here. We'll start with number 248, which will be this one right here, which is the Somewhere in Time Eddie, right here. This one's very similar to the Chase one, which is, I think it's 2 Minutes to Midnight, I think it was. Something like that. I have to look up what the chase is for this one. But they basically take this buck, and because this is again Somewhere in Time, they take the buck of the design, put a hat on him, do a little bit of cleanup on the chest. It looks very similar to this one. Give him a smile. They basically took this buck and re-engineered it to make that chase. So that's what that one looks like here. Looks great. Let me get the correct name. I don't want to steer anyone wrong here. Let me get the correct name for the chase. Bard and me 1 second while I look that information up. If I was any near a host, I would have had this already for you. Funko Chase Eddie. I want to say it is... Look at it right here. Images. It is... It's Stranger in a Strange Land. That's what it is. Stranger in a Strange Land Eddie. I'll give you a picture real quick of it here so you can see what it looks like. It would look like that. So I said it's very similar to the other one. Very, very similar in design. So that's the one I haven't gotten. That one is the one that I'm kind of waiting on, and that's going to be done. Yep, they're usually harder to find, Jackie. But the problem, and they're selling them on eBay between $50, and I've seen it go as high as about $85, $90. But I put a pre-order in for $50 for the chase and 2 common pops. It was for this one and number 250. So it was this one I got part of that bundle, the chase, and one other one, which we'll talk about momentarily. So this is 248. 249 was the Life After Death Eddie, which is this one right here, which we're going to review him as well, which looks great. So we have 248, 249, 250, and this is the one that was in part of the bundle, which was Seven Son of the Seven Son, which is very similar to one of the ones in the first wave, which was just a smaller character. It wasn't like a full, full-sized Eddie. It was him kind of, he's the one with the, he had, I think, a chain around his neck, and it was kind of scrunched down. But this is the Seven Son of a Seven Son. And if you didn't want, I didn't show off the back of the packaging, but that's what the back would look like. They take basically the liberty of kind of like the back of the album cover, but they're just one thing I want to talk about is they did not include the insert like they did for the first wave, which I'm going to talk about when I do the full unboxing and review. They had a cardboard insert with the first wave. This time they did not do that. So why they did not do that, I'm assuming it was cost-cutting measures. I'm assuming that's why they did that. So we had Seven Son of a Seven Son. And this last one here, which was the rounds up at 251, which was Night of the Dead Eddie, which is probably my favorite looking one out of them all. I think this one looks the coolest. He's got the gun. He's got the little wand. I think that one looks the coolest of them all. Of these 4, I think this one looks the coolest. Besides the chase, because everybody wants the chase. So this is going to be the next video that I'm going to shoot. With the exception if, we'll talk about what we're talking about now, if I do it or not. The main reason for the stream tonight is something called NFTs. or non-fundable tokens. Think of it as another way to get a collectible. They call them blockchains. I don't know a whole lot about it, so if you're coming to me looking for specific knowledge of how this works, I'm not the guy. But I'll tell you that it's something I'm going to be a little bit involved in, at least for the Funko line, because I've done multiple NFTs for Funko. They started it with the Turtles, they did it with Rugrats, they did it with Transformers, they did it with Scooby-Doo, and now they're doing it with DC. And it's very, very interesting what they're doing with these non-fundable tokens. Literally, they're putting rarities on these sort of motion cards. You have all sorts of rarities, which we'll talk about shortly. I'm going to drop inside the chat for you guys the link to what we're talking about here. So basically, it is going to be, pardon any type of interruptions you would have had. This is the link we're going to be talking about momentarily. For non-fundable tokens. So basically Funko has, even they did it with Iron Maiden. They did an NFT with Iron Maiden. I didn't jump in on that one. I should have. But what makes this important is that they have all sorts of rarities for these cards, and they're collectibles. So basically you get these cards, these sort of motion cards, and they're collectible. Anything that you can basically sell with an image or make it valuable, make a market for it, you can offload this to somebody who's willing to buy it, purchasing it. You make it low quantity, people want this sort of stuff. So that's the idea of the NFTs. They do this a lot with other IPs. They started doing it now with Funko, I think about a year and a half ago is when they started all this stuff. Again, if you're coming into the stream for the first time, we got some Angry Orchard we're drinking tonight, guys. So what we're going to be talking about is the NFTs. Let me switch over to my other screen, which is over here. So the idea of the NFTs, and what they do is you basically go to a website, which is Droop, D-R-O-P-P, and you basically create a free account. It links you with a wallet so you can purchase these packs. The packs come in 2 flavors. This is, again, DC. This thing starts on this Thursday, May 5th, at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And they come in 2 flavor packs. They come in 5-card digital and 15-card digital, for $10 US or $30. So that's what you can purchase along on your screen, on your at your home, at your leisure here. So these are what the cards look like here. So the idea is you get these cards, you buy these packs, and you get basically you get 5 cards for the cheaper pack and 15 for the more expensive pack. So I'm getting a little bit of latency here. I do see that, so I do apologize for that. We're locking up a little bit here. I see my camera kind of lagging. We'll take a look at the catalog in a second. So you can snag a pack and go to Discord. These are what the packs look like. Here's what the 5-card pack looks like. Here's what the 15-card pack looks like. Literally, it's just 3 times the amount of cards at 3 times the cost. Now, this is sort of like buying a lotto ticket. That's the whole idea of this stuff, because the real nuts and bolts and what makes this stuff important is that they're redeemable for physical products. People can sell the normal cards. There's a whole marketplace for it, a whole ecosystem where you can sell cards out for real money. Even the common cards, even the base cards themselves can be sold or traded for either other cards or actual physical cash. So it's a way of making a new marketplace with a different sort of product. Think of it sort of like cryptocurrency. It's kind of like cryptocurrency. That's kind of what it is. Cryptocurrency, stocks, same sort of deal, but you're getting a physical product you can redeem for something. You get a token that they call it is you burn the token, which means you redeem it for an item. That's the idea. So this is what the cards would look like. You can land a redeemable pop, and we'll talk about the redeemable pops here. Here's one of them. This is the Rebirth Batman. This is a Grail item, which we'll talk about that momentarily. And you can become a member of Funko's royalty, and here's a catalog. I'll show you the catalog right here. So here's the catalog, and here's your percentage chances of pulling stuff. They only give you some examples of 2 cards right now. You have Superman from Kingdom Come, and you have Flash, which I think is Rebirth Flash. I can't really tell by the image. Looks like it's Rebirth Flash. And these ones all down here give you question marks. So these are the cards that are physically available. These are all common. They have a pull chance of 49.42% chance, part of the royalty collection. And what the whole point of the royalty collection is that if you get all the cards, you can redeem all the cards for a Freddy Funko that looks like Batman, which we'll talk about him shortly. So the most common cards are about almost 50% chance you'll draw a common card. After that, and there's quite a few common cards, as you can see here. Next is uncommon at 27.80. And if you see down here, this is the Killing Joker, right there, which looks really, really cool. Right there. And the percent chance on that one's 27.8. And again, this is the uncommon section. Right there. Next, you have rare. You have your Catwoman and your Aquaman at 14.55% chance. So mind you, again, the standard pack is $10. You get 5 cards. The $30 pack, you get 15 cards. It's basically just 3 times the amount of cards, same cost. So you're not really saving anything to buy a more expensive pack per se. You're getting more cards at the same cost. That's the idea. So rare, decent amount of rare cards. Now you get to epic. Epic, you're looking at 6.40% chance. And we have a Poison Ivy right here. And when you get one of these cards, you'll see it animate. Like when it goes into your collection, you'll see it do this animation that you see here. So when you look at the card, you'll see it, and you can even, like, from there you can go to the marketplace, and it'll pull all the statistics for the card. It'll show you the going rates of these cards, what they're selling for. So if you want to sell a card, you can. You basically put it up for auction. That's the idea. You auction the card off, and it goes up to be sold. Someone will purchase the card. And they'll send it back to you. They have something called wax, which I believe, I'm not sure exactly the wax conversion to dollars. There is a conversion rate that happens, but I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. Again, I'm new to this whole thing, so again, it's news to me. I'm going to close this here. Boop. Next, we get to the legendary stuff, and this is the important stuff. This is the all-important stuff that we're talking about here. So we got ourselves the Gotham by Gaslight Batman, our Green Lantern Kyle Rayner, which is the sole reason, as you guys may know, I'm a big DC fan, but I'm a bigger Green Lantern fan. This is the sole reason I am interested in this NFT. Quite honestly, the only reason I want is this guy here. So if you had this card, it would look like this. The card would physically animate like this. Eradicator Superman and Rebirth Flash. And then you have what's called, well, I mentioned the legendary is at 1.62% chance of you hitting a legendary item, which is redeemable for a physical pop. And then the Grail, which is the Rebirth Batman, at 0.20% chance of hitting it. It's extremely low. You're going to say to me, well, Rook, well, let the page go away here. There we go. Well, Rook, what's the amount of getting those items? Good question. Glad you asked me that. Here are those same exact cards we just saw, the Grails. The Batman Rebirth is sitting at 999 pieces at 0.2% chance. Eradicator Superman is sitting at 2,050 available at 1.62. Your Gotham by Gaslight Batman, which is, again, 2,050 pieces at 1.62. Again, same. Our Kyle Rayner, which looks absolutely amazing. I need him so bad, because this is his original outfit. This is Kyle Rayner, my Green Lantern, the guy that I broke into Green Lantern with. This is his suit that I remember him debuting in. That's the suit I remember Green Lantern. This is, again, my Green Lantern. Right here. So, I think that was issue number 48. Issue 48, volume 4, Green Lantern, I believe it is. So 48 this is his suit when he built it for himself. This is his look. And it looks like he's on a flight stand. Eradicator is standing still. Flash is standing still. So the only one that's on a flight stand is Kyle. And I love it. I gotta get it. Rebirth Flash. Again, same amount, 1.62% chance of draw rate. And one of the other pieces, which I was talking about, the royalty collection, which, as I mentioned before, if you look at the catalog here, as we were going through all the cards, they mentioned the term part of the royalty collection. Basically, that means if you happen to get every single card, all of them, you can cash it in for this guy here. They made 2,694 of those pieces, and it's basically Freddie Funko dressed up as Batman. And if you notice, you may not notice this, you have to be you have to be at least someone who's in the know about Batman. This was his original detective outfit. You could tell by the purple gloves and the cape with the blue line through it. When he had his original detective appearance, this is his outfit that he wore, especially those weird purple gloves. This was his first appearance. And this one is going to be probably, if not more expensive, as close to probably as the Grail item here. So just remember, the redeemable pops themselves are the Grails, all 4 of the legendaries, and the royalty collection. Those are ones you can, basically you burn the token. You literally, you destroy this card. You make it non-usable anymore. You cash it in, basically, to get this to be sent to you. That's the idea. Now, I've seen people on eBay selling these products for a stupid amount of money. Stupid amount. This right here, this guy right here, this Kyle you see right here, on eBay, I saw one guy pre-selling just him for $300 right now. And I've seen other lines with a lower piece count selling at a cheaper cost. Like the Nickelodeons, the Rugrats, some of the Transformers like Sideswipe. I saw Bumblebee selling for $800. I saw Sideswipe selling for $150. But what they will do is they will sell you the code for this, the token, the card itself, to be sent to you. You basically purchase it, and they send it to your wallet. That's the idea of doing that. Could be a little shady. Depends on the person. You got to do your research if you want to get involved in something like that. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, when you saw the big banner, even the thumbnail, it said, buy it or as a pass. I think I'm going to buy into this specifically for him. I want the Kyle Rayner, the pop you see on your screen right now. Again, all those other ones, I could care less about. If I get the Grail, awesome. If I don't care. Him, don't care. Batman by Gaslight was a really cool comic and a really cool animated special. If you've never watched it, it's really cool. It's Batman like back in like the 1920s, 1930s, and it's really, really cool. He's basically, think of it like Gotham as like steampunk. That's what Gotham by Gaslight was. It was very like a steampunk Batman. That was the idea. Again, Kyle, I need him. Rebirth Flash, don't care. This will be difficult to get with the small amount of cards I'm going to purchase, because I'm thinking about buying hopefully 5 to 6 packs. Yep, about $300, Rainbow. I saw it online for about $300 right now. I went, ew. I mean, do I have the available funds? I could probably muster it, but $300, I think I could do better. I think once those items drop, once people start cashing them in, and they start hitting the market, they're probably going to have a good high price point, but people are going to undercut it a lot because people are going to want to move this product. Now, how do you redeem it? So as you see on the screen here, here's how you use this stuff. This is how you work through the process. On May 5th, you purchase the packs. You collect the Legendary, the Grails, a royalty set to redeem for physical collectibles. On September 2nd, so there's about, I think it's a 90-day period, you have to hold this token. Your redemption tokens will be transferred into your wallet holding redeemable digital pops and or qualifying royalty sets. So if you have all the cards, you can cash them in. All the cards will be gone. You get that first appearance Batman Freddy Funko. October 2nd, you have 30 days to cash it in. It goes to airdrop in redemptions. So then you purchase it. So this is where you're where you can cash them in at. So basically you got to wait this time. They go into your wallet. You got to wait 30 days. Bang. Actually, excuse me. From this point here to this point here is your window. It's 30 days. It starts on the 2nd and ends on the 2nd the following month. I had to redact that. So yeah, so that's where it ends. During winter, so you're probably looking around probably December of this year is when you would get your physical pop. So by the end of this year, if I can get my hands on that Kyle pop, because that's, again, all I want is him. As I mentioned before, I'm a big Green Lantern guy. That is what I want. This card. And I figured if I cash in, excuse me, if I cash in, back up to the top here, 5 or 6 packs, about $50, $60, I'm willing to take a risk. It is a gamble. It is a chance of hitting something. You may or may not get anything. It's very, very difficult to pull at a 1.62% drop rate to get the legendary and get the legendary I want. That is the tricky part. Could I take that $50, $60 and roll it to buying the physical item? I could do that, but I would do that once probably in December time. During that time frame, when probably people are going to be cashing them between November, actually between when they physically get them in hand around December times when people will physically get them, and they'll put them on eBay probably during the holiday, during Christmas or Hanukkah time, and that's where you strike. That's where someone like me would look for those items that are being sold at try to get people who undercut it, because at 2050, I don't, as I mentioned before, even some of the Transformer ones with the just redeemable tokens, I've seen them going for about 150, 160. I don't see it being a $300 pop. Would I spend $300? If I had it, I would buy it without second guessing at all. I would use a credit card if I have to. I'd sell parts off of my collection. Don't care. I want that pop in my collection because it is, again, the first Green Lantern I started reading was issue 48 of volume, I think it's volume 4, of Kyle Rayner. That outfit is very, very special to me. I remember that outfit specifically when I started reading comics, and that is what I want. So I think I'm going to be going into it on 2 p.m. on that day. The biggest problem that I'm going to run into is that this stuff sells out extremely fast. I mean, if you're not there at 2 o'clock, ready to go with your stuff in place, and you hit to buy those packs, within a span of probably 2 to 3 minutes, they're all gone. It's just like going to a convention drop release on Funko's website. Same deal. This stuff sells out extremely fast. Every single time I've seen, like, a day later, I'll come in to take a look at this stuff. Sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. Done. If you're looking to get involved, get involved. Exactly, Rainbow. The problem is, I hear you. Trust you, me, I hear you. My wife at one time wanted to get me the Jekyll and Hyde Bugs and the Jekyll and Hyde Bugs 2-pack. And at that time, she was willing to shell out $500 for it for me. And I said, "You're out of your mind. I would never spend $500 on a pop." We bought statues for $600. But that's a big, I mean, you're talking sideshow statues that are, like this. 2, 3 feet tall, made out of like porcelain. That's a different story. That's a different sort of collectible. But all things considered, would I shell out that $300? I probably would in this situation if I had the expendable cash, if I had the liquid cash and I can generate that amount of money if I have to get that item 1,000%, and I would do it without blinking. Quite honestly, I would do it. It's just like if you found something that you were interested in, Rainbow, that maybe cost a little bit more money. $50, $75, you might be able to squeeze it. Especially if you're on a very, very strict budget. Just like I do, I try to cut back a lot of the expenses and only get the stuff I really want to get, especially for the channel. Things like that. Again, this channel's not monetized. Everything you see, all the collectibles you see behind me, guys, everything you see in these shelves, all the pops, all that, no one sponsors this channel. I pull that out of my own pocket. Everything is either I've purchased it myself, I've gotten as gifts, got it from other collectors who maybe send stuff to me. Very few of those. But everything is from my personal wallet. Again, this channel is not sponsored. This channel is not monetized. I do everything out of my own pocket. Would I wish it was? Absolutely. Would I love it to have it a second-time job or part-time job? 100%. But it's not. It is what it is. And I long time ago, back in 2018, I dealt with it. I said they changed monetization for YouTube. I thought it was a bad idea. They were all about the money. I get it. I don't have to like it. But YouTube's really the only game in town when it comes to doing video content. There are other platforms, but YouTube is really the only game in town. So that's my thought process, at least when it comes from the perspective of NFT. If you want to get involved, you can. I'm not going to say you should or shouldn't. Do your research. If you want to get involved, go for it. 100%. If you have liquid cash, go for it. Again, it's a lotto ticket. It's like buying a scratch off. Are you going to hit it? Who knows? I might get lucky and hit a Grail for all I know. Would it be cool? 100%. I guarantee you that Grail will probably go 500, but I want to say probably not more. Between $800 and $1,000. I guarantee you between $800 and $1,000 if someone hits those, because the amount of those are only 999 pops. Those are very low piece counts, and those usually command a much higher price point. So I 100% see that going for big dollars. That's what I wanted to talk about in this stream. I had something else in mind, but I'm probably going to save it to the next month's stream. Kind of be talking about Toys R Us and the re-emergence of it. I went to a place which has Macy's, and I'll talk more about that in that stream. But there was stuff for Toys R Us. It looked very, very sad. So I took some images, took some pictures of it, which I'll talk about in the next month's stream. So I want to thank all the viewers and subscribers who came in. If anybody who watches this on video on demand, again, it goes up about the next day, about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. I do hope you guys enjoy this. I know we had a few people in the stream tonight. I always love it when you guys come into the stream. I love talking to the audience. But yeah, so that's what I personally think. I think the NFT is a good idea if you want to go down that road. If you don't, then don't do it. Again, I'm just chasing that Kyle pop. That's literally all I want. If I get it, awesome. If I don't, that's fine too. And if I get my hands on them, I'm sorry, Rainbow. Hope you find some luck at another store. I would definitely look around if you're looking for a specific item. Better yet, I would check maybe your Amazon's. Worst case, go to eBay. But yeah, so that's everything we're talking about for tonight. Again, we're going to be doing the Canterbury statue review as the next video, one of the next videos. The Iron Maiden Wave 2. That every single time I've done Maiden, any Iron Maiden, anything, it's always done very, very well on the channel. My review of the Eddie, which was this guy right here. There's the packaging for him, which was this guy right there, that guy. Has about 600 views right now. It's doing very, very well. If you haven't watched that video, highly recommend it. I give you the good and bad of that particular figure. There's some good points and some bad points with it. Again, not a big fan of NECA. They've screwed me in the past. This one, I think they kind of screwed the purchasers of these products. About $35 for an action figure is way, way, way too high for a technically non-exclusive, non-convention figure. I don't care who it is. That's a very high price point to pay. In this day and age where you can get action figures, Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, between $25, $28, $26. Yep. Thank you, Rainbow. So I want to thank, again, everybody who came into the stream tonight. We're going to be cutting the channel right now, cutting the stream right now, guys. I want to thank, again, everybody who came in. The video on demand will hit probably again tomorrow around 10 or 11 a.m. So again, I want to thank everybody cutting the stream tonight, guys, in 3, 2, 1. Take care, guys. See you guys in the next video and stream.